Hello my fellow fashion lovers. I'm so thrilled to be back with you. I hope you're doing well. Get nice and comfortable, because today we are diving straight into the Louis Vuitton Spring Summer 2027 show at Paris Fashion Week. And one thing is certain, Pharrell Williams is sparking debate once again, with a deeply bold proposition. Closing the first day of Fashion Week with such an intense summer manifesto? That is a power move. Personally, I think this raw lightness works incredibly well. It's a way to reinvent the masculine wardrobe through the lens of travel, surf culture, and the house's core savoir-faire. The set design? Total thermal shock. Right in the heart of Paris at the Site Universitaire, under a crushing heat, Pharrell literally recreated an ocean, complete with a monumental, artificial wave right in the center of the runway. Can you picture the contrast? It's a massive, unapologetic tribute to Virginia Beach, his hometown. We aren't in Paris anymore. We are fully immersed in a pure, raw, almost mystical surf culture. The approach here is ambitious. The designer isn't just trying to offer a luxury beach wardrobe. He's capturing the archetype of the surfer, that free bohemian spirit living on the edge of the ordinary world, and turning it into a utilitarian garment for modern luxury. What strikes me the most is this obsession with escapism. It infuses every single piece, without ever losing the thread of Louis Vuitton's heritage, the art of travel. On the runway, the models move across the sand with a detached, almost nonchalant attitude, but their visual presence is incredibly strong, to stop the silhouettes from looking too relaxed, especially with the full-body wetsuits or the surfboards tucked under the arms. Pharrell anchors the look. The defining detail this season? It's the omnipresence of the cap paired with flawless bootcut trousers, a style vocabulary that is now well established and solidifies the Vuitton posture. Technically speaking, how do you make a wetsuit or aquatic prints look credible in high fashion? Everything seems to rely on the invisible architecture of tailoring. It feels as though each piece is built around a subtle tension between high-performance gear and the fluidity of urban tailoring. Can you feel it too? That contrast between the softness of the knitwear and the sharp structure of the drape? The base palette is deeply rooted in nature. Immaculate white, deep ocean blue, and earthy khaki. But the real textural clash comes from the fabrics. We go from ultra-smooth, waterproof textiles to croc and leopard effect leathers, which catch the light in a beautifully expressive way. You can tell these garments have already lived several lives under the ocean spray. The fabrics seem to literally absorb the summer light. If we pause for a second on the micro details, one of the biggest standouts is the Combi sneaker. Pharrell is openly drawing inspiration from skate culture, think high-end Vans. But when you look a little closer at the pieces, you notice some jarring paradoxes. Summer shorts topped with tight, technical hoods and thick, almost winter-like sweaters. Would you have dared to wear a heavy knit sweater in the middle of July? The show opens with pure minimalism, before building up to a vibrant, chromatic explosion of yellow, red, and purple. This narrative crescendo reaches its absolute peak with the arrival of the luggage. Monumental, instantly recognizable Louis Vuitton trunks, carried by hand across the sand. It's a visually stunning moment, an image that stays with you. But what if we step away from the runway fantasy for a minute? Personally, I'm still a bit skeptical about how this translates to real life. Huge wool sweaters worn in peak summer with short shorts? Let's be honest. To the untrained eye, it looks more like a seasonal mistake or a weather provocation, rather than a deliberate creative statement. Is it actually wearable outside the spotlight? The debate is open. Ultimately, what we take away from this vision is a perfect metaphor for the Vuitton man under Pharrell, a modern nomad, someone who refuses to be boxed in. This collection marks a major milestone, proving that the house can appropriate the most unique cultural worlds with disarming maturity. So, what do you think of this hybrid wardrobe, somewhere between surf culture and luxury tailoring? And above all, those heavy winter knits in the dead of summer? A stroke of genius or a total miss? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you think. Thank you so much for sharing this analysis with me. Here is a little anecdote to sharpen your eye for the rest of the show. Those pops of neon yellow and purple you're about to see on the runway? They aren't accidental. Those are the exact shades of the very first fiberglass surfboards from 1970s Virginia Beach. Pharrell literally injected the colors of his childhood into the Louis Vuitton universe. I wish you an excellent viewing of the rest of the show. Enjoy every single silhouette, and I will see you very soon for a new analysis.